So this winter, I did an independent study with Mr. Westenberg. I read a series of 8 different plays, and I was observing the way that women are portrayed in theater throughout history. In addition to reading the plays, I chose 5 different monologues, and I memorized them, and I was using acting as a way to embody the character and to understand them from a different perspective and to kind of get a really personal sense of who these women were. The first monologue you'll see is from a Greek play called Iphigenia at Aulis. The scene shows her father has agreed to sacrifice Iphigenia, and she's begging him not to kill her. So the second piece is from Macbeth. The scene is between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. They've just plotted to kill the king and take over the throne. However, Macbeth has gotten nervous and doesn't want to follow through. For this piece, Michael Bradley will kindly be stepping in to play Macbeth, who will be my husband. The third monologue is from the show Ideal Husband. It's a comedy, and the piece is narrated by the character Mabel, who is a woman who is being repeatedly proposed to by the same boy. The fourth is from A Streetcar Named Desire. The monologue takes place during a conversation between 2 sisters. I'll be playing the older sister, Blanche, an extremely unstable woman, slightly on the edge of lunacy, who is trying to persuade her sister, Stella, to leave her abusive husband. And finally, the 5th monologue is from the play Our Town. The scene shows Emily, a young woman who has just died and been given the opportunity to relive and watch one day from her life. In the scene, she's able to see her family, but they cannot see her. Enjoy.
Had I, my father, the persuasive voice of Orpheus in his skill to charm the rocks to follow me and soothe whome'er I please with winning words, I would make trial of it. But I have nothing to present thee now save tears, my only eloquence, and those I can present thee. On thy knees I hang, a suppliant wreath, this body which she bore to thee. Kill me not in youth's fresh prime. Sweet is the light of heaven. Compel me not what is beneath to view. I was the first to call thee father. Me thou first didst call thy child. I was the first that on thy knees fondly caressed thee, and from thee received the fond caress. This was thy speech to me. Shall I, my child, ere see thee in some house of splendor, happy in thy husband, live and flourish as becomes my dignity? And my speech to thee was leaning against thy cheek, which with my hands I now caress. And what shall I then do for thee? Shall I receive my father, and in my house cheer him with each fond office to repay the careful nurture which he gave my youth? These words are on my memory deep impressed. Thou hast forgot them and wilt kill thy child. By Pelops I entreat thee, by thy sire Atreus, by this my mother, who before suffered for me the pangs of childbirth, now these pangs again to suffer. Do not kill me. If Paris be enamored of his Helen, his bride, what concerns it me? And how comes he to my destruction? Look upon me. Give me a smile. Give me a kiss, my father, that if these words persuade thee not in heaven, I may have this memorial of thy love.
What news?
She has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you've not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business.
Was the hope trunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who does do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They made themselves, in that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums, and dashed its brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. Well, Tommy's proposed to me again. Tommy really does nothing but propose to me. He proposed to me last night in the music room when I was quite unprotected, as there was an elaborate trio going on. I didn't dare make the smallest repartee, I need hardly tell you. If I had, it would have stopped the music at once. Then he proposed to me in broad daylight this morning in front of the dreadful statue of Achilles. Really, the things that go on in front of that work of art are quite appalling. The police should interfere. Then, at luncheon, I saw by the glare in his eye that he was going to propose again, and I just managed to check him in time by assuring him that I was a bimetallist. Fortunately, I don't know what bimetallism means, and I don't believe anyone else does either. But the observation crushed Tommy for 10 minutes. He looked quite shocked. Then, Tommy is so annoying in the way he proposes. If he proposed at the top of his voice, I should not mind so much. But he does it in a horrid, confidential way. When Tommy wants to be romantic, he talks to one just like a doctor. I'm really quite fond of Tommy, but his methods of proposing are quite out of date. I wish, Gertrude, you would speak to him and tell him that once a week is quite often enough to propose to anyone, and that it should always be done in a manner that attracts some attention. May I speak plainly? Well, if you'll forgive me, he's coming. You can't have forgotten that much about bringing up, Stella, to just suppose that any part of a gentleman is in his nature. Not one particle, no. Oh, if he was just ordinary, just plain but good and wholesome, but no. There's something downright bestial about him. You're hating me saying this, aren't you? Well, he acts like an animal, has an animal's habits, eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. There's even something subhuman, something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him, like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him by, and there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle. And you here, waiting for him? Maybe he'll strike you, or maybe grunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls, and all the other apes gather there in front of the cave, all swilling and gnawing and hulking. Is poker night, you call it, this party of apes. Some creature growls, something snatches, the fight is on. Maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image. But Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such kinds of things as art, as poetry and music have come into the world since then. And some kind of people, some tender of feelings have had some little beginning. That we have got to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag. In this dark march towards whatever it is we are approaching, don't hang back with the brutes. Good morning, Mama. Oh, Mama, just look at me for 1 minute as though you really saw me. 14 years have gone by, Mama. I'm dead and you're a grandmother, Mama. I married George Gibbs, Mama, and Wally's dead too. His appendix burst on a camping trip to North Conway. We all felt just terrible about it, don't you remember? But just for a moment, now we're all together. Mama, just for a moment, we're happy. Let's look at one another. I can't go on. It all goes by so fast and we don't have time to look at one another. I didn't realize. So all that was going on and we never noticed. Take me back up the hill to my grave. But first, wait. One more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye to Grover's Corners. Goodbye to clocks ticking. And Mama's sunflowers. And food. And coffee. And new iron dresses. And hot baths. And sleeping. And waking. Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. Do any human beings ever realize life while they live it? Every minute. I'm ready to go back.